Have you ever wondered what the most dangerous and deadliest jobs in the world are? Every job has its own risks, from working in high altitudes to facing serious health issues from various chemicals. It's probably a smart idea to count what the job will cost you rather than only looking at the paycheck. Some jobs could cost you your life, and it might not be the best way to go out. I'm Mike with List 25, and if you like to live life on the dangerous side, all while earning your paycheck, take a look at these 25 most dangerous jobs in the world.
#25.
Street sweeper. If you've ever been to Rwanda, you'll know why street sweepers are on the most dangerous jobs list. Many women work all hours of the night in busy traffic and less than friendly neighborhoods.
24.
Mountain guides. Between ice, long falls, jagged rocks, wind, low air pressure, and a whole slew of other dangerous sounding conditions, climbing mountains is not known for its safety. In one 2009 report, 11 guides had died on the job.
23.
Carpenters. It's a historically old job, and it's also more dangerous than you may think. A broken hip falling from the second floor, a crushed finger, or a dislocated collarbone after slipping from a ladder are a few of the numerous ways you can get injured on this job.
22.
Stuntmen. Stuntmen make the Hollywood action stars look good, and they put their lives on the line to do so. Between driving cars over cliffs and jumping out of high-rises, these daring performers stare death in the face every day.
21.
Courier carriers. With Amazon, Uber Eats, and other services, convenient delivery has become a more desirable service. Whether it's pizza or newspaper delivery, this is a dangerous job in most countries. These workers are often the victims of armed robbery and other violent crimes. So tip them well and be nice.
20.
Alligator wrestlers and lion tamers. Alligator wrestlers, lion tamers, and basically anybody who deals with dangerous animals on a daily basis knows they're walking pretty close to death's jaws, especially when they stick their heads in the animals' mouths.
19.
E-waste recyclers. Imagine mountains of broken computer parts that need to be sorted, some with chemicals oozing out and mixing into the rainwater. Recyclers have to deal with that every day, and in some parts of the world like Guiyut, China, working with e-waste is their entire life.
18.
Utility linemen and power workers. Working with electricity is bad enough, but working with electricity high above the ground is even worse. One wrong decision and they'll meet a grisly death by electric shock and crash landing. The linemen required to hang out of a helicopter to complete the job get bonus dangerous points.
17.
Farmers and ranchers. Spending long hours dealing with large animals, tractors, and other intensive conditions, farmers don't just sit on their porches all day. Their work can actually be quite dangerous.
16.
Firefighters. I probably didn't have to tell you that firefighters have dangerous jobs. From rushing into burning buildings to digging ditches in the middle of the Australian outback, firefighters hop into the fray and save lives by putting their own in harm's way. If that weren't crazy enough, of the 1 million firefighters in the United States, 70% of them are unpaid volunteers.
15.
Roofers. Most would assume correctly that falling from high elevations and getting bad sunburns are normal hazards of this job. However, you might not know that they're also in danger of electrocution, scorching hot tiles, and chemical hazards from volatile tars. Add heat stroke to the mix, and you've got one nasty job. To make it even worse, the median wage is only $35,920.
14.
Police officers. Police officers have to answer potentially deadly calls and address highly stressful situations on a daily basis. Unfortunately, they aren't the most popular public servants in many parts of the world. Yes, corruption is real, but many police officers really do put their lives on the line for others.
13.
Astronauts. Since the beginning of the Russian and American space programs, about 430 astronauts have gone to space. With 34 deaths, that is a 7.5% mortality rate. a rate significantly higher than many other professions on this list. Also, the Apollo space program astronauts suffered cardiovascular health problems due to overexposure to radiation.
12.
Bodyguards and armored car drivers. When your literal job description is to take a bullet for someone else, you definitely have a dangerous job. Of course, depending on what part of the world we're talking about and who or what is actually being guarded, the levels of risk can vary. Sadly, in some cases, guards have been killed while only 3 weeks on the job.
11.
Slaughterhouse worker. Oftentimes heavily exploited, the rate of injury is over 3 times that of other manufacturing and processing jobs. These injuries are often the result of the demand for speed at the assembly line, where workers are many times required to slaughter up to 50 cattle per hour. Fun fact, I once found an abandoned slaughterhouse. Very creepy.
10.
Mechanics. Between fumes, chemicals, and dangerous tools, mechanics, working on everything from Mini Coopers to fighter jets, are exposed to their fair share of hazardous situations.
9.
Metal crafters. Besides dealing with the obvious things like heat and metal, these workers typically experience negative health effects in the long term due to exposure and inhalation of various chemicals.
8.
Search and rescue. Whether it's the Coast Guard facing high seas or a mountain rescue team facing sub-zero temperatures at night, it's not hard to see why this job would make the list. While they are highly trained, these brave men and women risk it all to save lives.
7.
Sanitation workers. Dealing with all sorts of unspeakable waste has its own challenges. In many places, it's a well-paid position for a reason. The potential exposure to all sorts of hazardous materials raises the danger level a few notches.
6.
Landmine remover. Although in some parts of the world this is the military's job, there are many formerly war-torn regions completely covered in landmines. With governments that couldn't care less, there's a job opening in the private market, and it's not a fun one.
5.
Personal transport drivers. Although buses and trains have their own dangers, driving rickshaws, tuk-tuks, and taxis is in a whole different ballpark. Besides the obvious dangers of the road, the persistent danger of robbery or violence is ever present. Even in the United States, taxi drivers have one of the higher on-the-job mortality rates.
4.
Miners. Few jobs destroy your health like mining. Besides the long-term danger of black lung, the constant risk of cave-ins, gas explosions, and health problems from the chemicals and radon inhaled make it a deadly job. And if you have the chance, take a mine tour. You'll really get a feel and understanding for what these people go through in their work environment.
3.
Bush pilots. Everybody knows that pilots have a dangerous job. Planes crash all the time, right? Wrong. At least, not the planes you're probably thinking about. Large airlines are a very safe mode of transportation. If you were talking about bush pilots, though, that's another story. Facing extremely hostile weather and terrain, their job is anything but safe.
2.
Deep sea fishermen. Here's a classic. It actually used to be the most dangerous job on most lists, especially Alaskan crab fishermen. Between high seas, long nights, freezing temperatures, and lots of moving parts, it certainly earns the title.
1.
Lumberjack. Along with deep sea fishing, the logging industry is a long-time source of workplace danger. Big trees, sharp saws, and hard hours are not a good mix for logging workers. I played a lumberjack in a school play once for elementary school. Anyway, so how dangerous is your job? Let us know in the comments below or tweet your answer to us at List25.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.